Hey, boys and girls, we're back. So I've been watching this video with Monique and on the Breakfast Club, and I saw the one with her on the View. I think that one's old, and I'm still trying to figure out why is it that people don't get this yet? Like, they really don't get that Monique is conning everybody. Well, she's trying to. It's not really. I don't know. Maybe she is doing a good job. Excuse me. But excuse me. But Monique has gone on a nationwide tour to talk about this injustice, and she's likened it to the Me Too movement and rape, and, all this shit, right? But what's going on? Like, is that, I get it. I've suffered from it. We talked about it. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to get, you're not going to go up in anybody else's system and get them to give you what you think you're worth. It's not going to happen. Peace, Ayana. But, it's not going to happen. I think everybody gets that part, if we go down the line and we talk about every industry, black people in general don't get, top dollar in many industries. They're not calling their price on any industry. But, the reality of the situation is, is this really the issue? Because, Monique is someone who could be, in this time of creating your own and self, Monique isn't offering us any of that. Monique isn't showing us any of that. What Monique is doing is she's trying to start a campaign to make somebody give her some money. And at this point, I mean, that's all it is. Or she wants to use the black community to punish Netflix for not, giving her the deal that she wanted. And that's the reality of the situation. Now, I'm not going to be a part of that. Period. If I wasn't going to watch Netflix, if I was going to watch Netflix, I'm not going to be a part of that. That's stupid. It's stupid. It's disrespectful to people who actually give their life to these causes because they don't have a choice. See, if Netflix calls Monique up tomorrow and says, "Oh, we got your, $10 million," she's gonna run with it, and let's get that out the way. If you haven't picked up the undertones, let me be the first one to share with you that Monique is going to run with, if Netflix called Monique tomorrow, if Amazon called Monique tomorrow, offer her a couple $1 million, then this would be over. It's not a Colin Kaepernick situation. And she keeps on trying to spin. But you said there, facts. She's never stood up for anything or anybody, and we keep on getting these anecdotal, yeah, well, when she was on the set of this reality show and they wanted people to be portrayed like this, she said, and she stood up for people being disrespected, disrespecting other people and all that other shit. And it's like, that's cool if you're not a celebrity. The best way I can say that is, like, if you were at your job and you heard a white manager call somebody boy, and you said something about it, maybe I give you that. But if you're Monique and you have some type of notoriety, and there's been countless. I mean, you're from Baltimore, and that boy Freddie Gray got killed. You ain't say nothing. You didn't get on, and that's the thing. I'm a harp on is like, if she got up there and said, "This is what Netflix did. I don't like it." That's it. I could have respected that. But the hamming, the oh, I love our people for real. That's the part that got me. That's the part that made me look at her crazy. Is that why do you have to now add, come boycott them with me, my loves, and like when did we become Monique's loves? When did Black America become Monique's love? Because she wasn't loving everybody when she was playing that crazy ass shit in Precious. She was thinking about, this is gonna freak people out, and I'm gonna get an Oscar. I'm gonna get some type of accolades for this, and that's what she got. And then she didn't want to play the game, and that's the bottom line of it. It's like, it's a game. I had the opportunity to play the game too, and it's a stupid ass game. It's a game where you really don't fucking win. And if you don't want to play it, I respect that. But if you do want to play it, don't get mad if you know what I'm saying. Like, she had the opportunity to, she blew the lid off the thing, and she could have went and did a myriad of other things. And she didn't do that. But moving on for that, let's talk about the interviews. And there's a thing that I pick up, right? And this is the part that's corny. They continue, it's like there's something wrong with the two of them. It's like they're feeding into each other's delusion. You know what I mean? Her and her husband, they like feed into each other's delusion back and forth. And she was she's on the Breakfast Club, and he's calling in, and all the daddy shit. I get it. Like they from down here, they pimp, and that's what's going on. Like, he pimping her, and that's what she sound like. She sound like somebody that got a script, and he's throwing the script at her, and he's telling her, this is what you need to say when you go down there. Here's your talking points. And when the talking points don't fit, she just stick right to them. She don't even adjust. That's how you could tell if this is damn script. Because when Whoopi Goldberg was on The View asking her questions, she went off of what she was saying, and she responded to questions that weren't being asked. And she did that on the Breakfast Club as well. That's a script. She's reading off a script, and that's what most of these people are doing. They're reading off of scripts. That's the same thing that K Flexible did when he did the show with the white nationalists. He couldn't really argue any points because he's reading off a script. What's going on, T? But that's the thing about it. You're reading off these scripts, and they're not saying anything. And they're not really making any real points. And we're going for it, and people waste their energy on all this madness. And there's better shit to do. This is why all of that consciousness shit is corny now. Because let me explain to you what Tariq Nasheed did. Tariq Nasheed showed Hollywood that the consciousness of Black consciousness was something that was marketable and something that could be used. Boyce Watkins and the I can't remember his name, Charlie Wu, showed Hollywood that you could manipulate Black Americans using, or at least conscious pocket of Black Americans using marketing tactics. That's what's going on. Period. You know, there's no realness. You know, it's all disingenuous. You know, it's a money grab. It's an intention grab. You know, and you know they have to very carefully then sell these products to people and sell these ideas to people and sell these projects to people. And you know, unfortunately, people that ain't got no money going for it. And the people that get money, they don't say nothing. People with any kind of real money that get approached by these, you know, idiots, don't say nothing. And Monique ain't nothing but another one, just trying to, you know, use and take away. And that's the reality of it. Because this is what Monique's next deal is, right? If you come to her as you know, a small black screenwriter, and you say, "Hey, I got this great story, and I don't have any money to make it," she's gonna say, "I already did that. That didn't work out for me." You know. And let me explain to you what this whole, you know, what this whole tour is. She's going on this tour, right? In lieu of actually having a comic special. This is how she's going to drum up her attention. You know, that's what's going on. She's drumming up her attention, going on a goddamn tour, talking about this nonsense. And maybe if she had took that energy and promoted Precious, she'd be straight. Um, but that's not what's happening. Again, you know, she's not trying to do that. She's jockeying to try to punish Netflix. She's jockeying to try to punish Netflix for not giving the money that she thought she was worth. And then she keeps on bringing up other people, but perhaps perhaps the fact that they just gave Amy Schumer $13 million for a bunch of recycled jokes is the reason why she can't get the money that she wants. You know, and that's the bottom line. You know, and then they start talking about when Charlemagne asked her straight up and asked the husband, when was the last time you packed that, you filled up an arena? And she said, we had a bunch of fully loaded clubs. That's 30, 40 people. That's maybe 100 people. That's not the same. Peace, peace. That's not the same. you know. But, you know, as long as we keep showing, I mean, like, because it's crazy. Like, there was a point in time that we all keep looking back to when these tactics were used and they were used strategically and they had a goal in mind that was beneficial, supposedly to everyone. And since that point, we've never seen that again. Since that point, we've never seen strategy used. You just don't get any strategy from nobody. What we're getting is what we're getting is whims. Like it's whimsy. It's the gas station, attendant wasn't nice to me when I went to buy gas. So I'm gonna make, I'm gonna go on TV and make everybody not go buy gas from him. And more power to you. But what do you get after that? What's the end game? Because if every black person boycotted Netflix, right? Netflix will go out of business. Every black person boycotting Netflix, which probably would not happen anyway. Every conscious black person boycotted Netflix. It wouldn't mean shit. It wouldn't mean shit. Now, if you went to your friends in Hollywood and said, let's do exclusive deals where you can only get my content or your content from these places that are not Netflix, that would hurt Netflix. Running around boycotting is not always the answer. That shit is disingenuous. That speaks of people who are not organizers, who probably wouldn't get the attention of organizers, and you just pull some nigga shit. That's some nigga shit. But it's the same as them dudes. I really, he was in Detroit, and they would, and the gas station dude would call somebody a name. They run up in the gas station, and at the end of the day, what do you get? At the end of the day, what do you get? He says that he can't talk to anybody the way he wants. But y'all already have you know how you keep somebody respectful? Having competition. If there's another group of people that's in your community and they making money, why are they able to make money in the first place? And I'm going to speak directly to the people in the economy because it's the same. It's the same. I don't care where I don't care where where you go with it. It's the same. Why is it that they can make money in the first place? It's the same reason why they have no respect for you and your community, at least as a whole. Because black people let everybody in and be in judgment. If you really had a problem with judgment, you wouldn't do business with people at all. They wouldn't be able to come and buy your house for next to nothing. They wouldn't be able to drain you for resources. You wouldn't be going to black contractors and choking them out of business because you don't want to pay what things cost. So with all of your activism, what do you get? What does anybody get? It's destructive and nothing more. And if you're going to cause that kind of destruction, shouldn't you at least consider what the goal is? Shouldn't you at least consider the goal? But this is what consciousness is. This is what you're supposed to respect as these are the deep brothers, right? And that's the reason why, scholars ain't gonna get you there. It's the reason why celebrities and it's just the mentality that niggas have, and they bring into everything. It's childish and selfish. And that's what it is. And all of the condescending, passive aggressive nonsense that she goes on these shows and tries to talk about, acting like people don't understand, it's not hard to get. It's not deep. Everybody knows you didn't get there. You made all them decisions that you want to do, all them decisions that could have made you your money, you decided to make at the end of the game. You decided to make them at the end of the game. You know, them people wanted you to lose weight. You ain't want to do that. You ain't want to do that. They wanted you to lose weight. You ain't want to do that. You know what I mean? They wanted you to put your own money into something. You still don't want to put your own money into nothing. And that's the thing that niggas be doing. Niggas think that niggas want to assume a lifestyle before they have the money to support it. And what that means is, you get an $80,000 job, right? And the first $80,000, first year, where you could be, you know, getting yourself together and putting your investments together and you know, preparing for, you know, having your savings and all that kind of shit and getting all that stuff in order, right? With the money that you're making, right? No, the first thing you want to do is buy a BMW. The first thing you want to do is move into a house that's fitting of your career and buy a whole bunch of clothes that's fitting of your position. And then you know what happens? Then that year you start looking at your finances and feel like you ain't got no money because you spent it all. Monique, did you spend all your money? Did you start spending money before you got the deal? Were you reaching out trying to figure out how you was gonna make some money? And then you started counting somebody's pockets and figured you was gonna make at least what they made? Is that what happened? Because that's what it seemed like what happened. It seemed like Monique and her management team tried to work a deal out, and they didn't want to spend their own money to make money. And that's the part people are missing out on. The other elements that aren't brought up because they don't fit with the narrative. The fact that Dave Chappelle went on his own tour on his own dime, and she said, "Oh, the promoters don't want to book me." She's not funny. She's not funny. Because if the promoters don't want to book you, then buy the club yourself, sell the tickets, pay a marketing team to put out your, you know, to market your shit. And then you could come to the table as a, you know, as somebody. But that's something that you had an opportunity to do with Precious and you ain't want to do. You could have put your money in it. Then. So now you want to go around and it's like it seems like men become the target of your onslaught. It seems like men become the target of Monique's onslaught. Why? Why? Because men could be shamed into doing things. But here's the thing. It's like if you really had some real shit to do, then maybe somebody will. It's not real.
Like, what do you think is gonna fucking happen? People are gonna boycott Netflix and that's gonna make an impact? They're gonna call you up? No. If you want to do something, then you would have had your friends because you could have got 5 people. You could have went and called Wanda Sykes and said, let's find another streaming service. Or Wanda Sykes talked about another streaming service that she put a comedy on. Why aren't you doing that? I'm just saying, like, this is, when you look at all this shit, when you look at all of this shit, when you look at people that put their money and energy into buying paperwork processes, when the money that you took, that you paid to all these people, you could have put that money together and bought land with it, bought a school with it, did something, took it and invested it into somebody's business. I'm just saying. Time and energy that motherfuckers spend on having pro-black parties. That shit used to kill me, man. Like, these grassroots organizers throwing parties and shit. And award shows and balls and the Waldorf Astoria and shit like that. This is the shit that conscious black people get together and do. And where does the money go? You want to ask where the money went for Black Panther and everybody, white people making the money. Who the fuck do you think makes the money when you throw a fucking debate at the Alhambra Ballroom? Whoever owns the Alhambra Ballroom. Everything that you do is going to benefit this quote unquote oppressor. Because it's not real. You're not interested in being, you're interested in getting attention. You don't want off the plantation. You just want to eat at the master's table. You just want to eat at the master's table. That's what you want to do. And that's consciousness. That's revolution. I'm good on that. I'm good on that. I'm good on showing support to people who don't know how to support. What do you think if I had to judge from half of the people that I've met, I talk about where all we got and us against them. Right? If I had to judge what the fate of the black community would be based on these people, we are fucked. We are fucked. And that's a fact. I've seen conscious people sit around talking about the medical industry. I've seen conscious people talk about how white medicine is killing people. And then as soon as they get sick or somebody in their family gets sick, where they go? And I'm not talking about the baby with a fever. The difference between responsibility. I'm talking about when people are going through things like diabetes and lymphatic issues. And then when there's a problem and the hospital does violate somebody's rights, these same people sit there and tell the person being violated to get violated. Because what I realized 8 years ago was that most people don't believe what they say they believe. It's just convenient. It's a convenient excuse. People believe the most convenient excuse. So if you're a poor white person living in one of the urban centers, or whatever, not even urban center, what you would call it, the Appalachian Mountains, whatever the breadbasket of America and all these other areas, right? Where these large swaths of people are, right? They will all, they're in the Bible Belt and things like that. We'll all say they believe in Christianity, they believe in the Bible, and they don't. They try, but they don't. We say we believe in democracy and we believe in the Constitution, and you don't. We say we believe in God, and we don't. It just sounds good to say. And we always have an excuse as to why we don't really, why it's not, Because think about it, man. Everybody claims to believe in God, but if you meet somebody that really believes in God, you think they're crazy. Somebody ran up to you and said that Archangel Michael came to me in a dream and told me that, I was going to win the lotto. You think that person was fucking crazy. But then you purport to believe a book that says just that. People believe what they, what's comfortable for them to believe at a time. Sick. When it comes time to test those beliefs, most people will drop them. Yet we claim to have integrity. There's Muslims in this country that commit usury every day, it's against their religion. You're selling cars and you're Muslim, you don't really believe that shit. You know what I mean? Like, you don't really believe it. You can't. So what's the difference between the conscious community? Are the stakes higher? People are talking about being, their genetic survival. But they don't really believe that. That shit just sounds fly, and it's a way to win an argument. That's it. Most people's beliefs are centered around how they can win an argument with somebody else. That's what you're going to get from most people. How can I win? How can I get a one-up on this person? It don't have anything to do with whether they really believe what they say. They don't even halfway listen. Like when you go back and you listen to Monique, she don't fucking listen. Even when you look at the contract, she didn't really read and comprehend what the contract was saying. And I don't know if a lawyer had anything to do with that and interpreted it, but basically it said that you can use the same material as long as you don't record it. So when you went around doing all them club joints. You could do the same jokes as long as you don't record it, which is what Dave Chappelle did. That's why they take people's phones. That's a no-brainer. Like, you could have still made your money. You could have still made your money with the same whack jokes you was gonna spit on the special. Excuse me. You would have still made your money. So that's not what it is either. Can be. Because that don't make any sense. So to answer the question, is Monique full of shit? You know, I would say yeah. I would say she's very much full of shit. I would say that most Americans are full of shit. Most of my fellow Americans are full of shit. Ask yourself, am I full of shit? See, if I get offended, I get offended for me. I don't need to rally no troops to be offended. And if I talk about it, I talk about it. For me. Not gonna call nobody and then start trying to shame people that they should be riding with me. Unless I rode for you. That's called having integrity. If I did something for you and I can't call on you, then there's something wrong with you. But if I ain't never did nothing for you, you don't owe me shit. And Monique, what you do? It's a legitimate question. You know, shit. Niggas owe Bill Cosby more than they owe you. In terms of having an impact. You know, it wasn't like the Parkers was giving out some positive role models. No, wasn't even like you tackled a whole bunch of critical issues. No. How much money did you donate to anything? Anything. You just had a bunch of gimmicks that didn't rock. And then you did Precious. And that was your gift and your curse. Because you really should have just did the press tour with it and played the game. Because that role was so crazy that people should be looking at you crazy for that shit. Because if we were to talk about Me Too, and you have all these accolades for being a child molester, a pedophile, an incestuous pedophile at that, what does that say about you? What does that say about Monique? What does that say about you that you riding with that shit? What does that say about you? I don't know. Those are my thoughts. I'll see you tomorrow. Good night, good day, whatever.